think that Trump is purposely trying to destroy the U.S. economy and get America to collapse the way the USSR did so that him and his billionaire buddies can buy everything up for pennies on the dollar and turn us into a full-blown oligarchy the way Russia did after the USSR collapsed? That's the only thing that makes sense in my brain, because everything that he is doing is isolating America from its allies. He is destroying trade on the world stage with us and all of the people we do trade with. I mean, China's putting exports on restrictions on all of their rare earth exports at this point. There's literally nothing that he's done since he took office that is good for the American people or the American economy. Everything that he has done has been for billionaires and has been at the detriment of the U.S. as a country. Like, our entire workforce is being decimated now as he is sending a whole bunch of people out of the country who used to do jobs like construction and farming. So we're going to have a food shortage because there's not enough people picking the food. We're going to have a worse housing problem because there's not enough people building the houses. And it literally seems like everything that he is doing is just designed to destroy this country, and yet the MAGA people are still licking his boots. It's wild.
I'm sitting here, I'm looking at what Trump is doing. I'm like, he's doing this intentionally now. Trump is accepting the collapse of the country, and instead he's accelerating it and selling it for parts and scrap to enrich himself and his family and his friends and his foreign donors. That's what I see happening. Trump has accepted the country is collapsing, and maybe when somebody whizzed a bullet by his head, he decided this ain't worth it anymore. So he decided he'd rather live and sell us out. I will support a Marjorie Taylor Greene Ro Khanna ticket if it means getting the foreign scum out of our politics. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's a Republican. I don't care if it's a Democrat. Anybody that's going to come in here and say, we just gave another $1 billion to foreign countries, we're never doing that again, that's who I'm voting for. I don't care.
Restricting student visas cuts off a future talent to sabotage the economy. This is an in-depth, for TikTok, analysis, so settle in for a few minutes. So what he's doing: shrinking the labor force, cutting off international trade, destabilizing the financial system, weakening core institutions, and consolidating wealth and power. So step one, shrinking the labor force. Trump is deliberately creating worker shortages, removing millions of undocumented workers from farms, construction sites, hotels, and restaurants. Undocumented workers make up roughly half, yes, half of agricultural workers. And Trump knows this and what it will do to the food supply. Food is rotting in the fields with no one to harvest the crops. Housing construction is stalled, raising prices nationwide. Hospitality and tourism sectors face record staffing crisis. The result? Food shortages, higher prices, supply chain disruption. Now, he's attacking legal immigration. The $100,000 H-1B visa fee makes it nearly impossible for tech companies to hire skilled workers. Tech will move to India, Canada, and Europe, leaving the U.S. behind.
Okay, let's say you want to start building.
I guess you don't even know why I'm laughing for. Not at her. But it is done. This self-demolition that's taking place with everybody's beloved hero is a clear-cut sign of what's to come. And they're doing this deliberately. Why are they doing it deliberately for? Because their intention is to bring in their new world order. So the new world order is just that, to bring in something that is new. And then they have to get rid of the old world. So Esau, your leaders have failed you. Your forefathers have failed you. They've told you a lie, because they're the father of lies, and you thought you was in a better predicament because you was one of them. But they never had you in mind. These devils never had their own people in mind. It was always been about the very rich and anybody that is not part of that club, you was asked out from the beginning. Wonderful, beautiful. Couple scriptures. I ain't gonna make this that long. Sirach 14:5. It says, He that is evil to himself, to whom will he be good? He shall not take pleasure in his goods. So evil to himself doesn't mean, well, yeah, it could mean that. It could mean the personnel. But the main thing is really meaning to his own people. If you're evil to your own people, how are you going to be good to any other nation? All right? And that's one of the main things that um, Israel, Jake, which are Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, have not learned, especially today when you have idiots out there trying to say all nations could be saved. Why don't you try to make sure your house is in order? Why don't you try to make sure your loved ones and your people are good? Why the fuck you worrying about these other people? Okay? Because why? They don't love themselves. They don't love themselves. They don't love their own people. Your greatest enemy is of your own. So here it is Esau have done to his own people. All right? From the very rich of his people, is not even giving not a crumb to his own. They allowed you to have the title of this fabricated thing that is called white. That was the only best thing that they gave to you. Because all the riches, they kept it for themselves. It says, there is none worse than he that envieth himself. And this is a recompense of his wickedness. So now y'all people crying because y'all was never part of the pie anyway. Matter of fact, I was supposed to go to the next chapter. 13. It says, when a rich man falleth, man, let's start from the beginning. Oh, wow. Nah, I said, oh, wow, because I had another video in mind, but you know what? I might put it in here. It says, Sirach 13 and 18. What agreement is there between a dog, and so a hyena and a dog, and what peace between the rich and the poor? As the wild asses and the lion's prey in the wilderness, so the rich eat up the poor. As pride hate humility, so doeth the rich abhor the poor. A rich man begin to fall, is held up by his friends. Those rich billionaires that guy was saying, that's all he wanted, that's all he cared about. He had to pay back for what they did for him. You know, he's a buddy system. But a poor man, through the being down, is thrust away by his friends. When the rich is fallen, he have many helpers, and speak of things not to be spoken, yet men justify him. And that's all we've been seeing for the past several months. The action of Trump and his buddies were all justified by the means of capitalism. I did the show weeks ago and basically said that the rich, the way they created this society, that the very poor people of the society will fight tooth and nail, put their life on the line for the rich to maintain their riches. You know how sick that is? Really? So that they created a whole fucking system to protect the very rich. Not because of the cops, military. The poorest person in the society would gloat and have tooth and nail, fight tooth and nail to maintain the very rich. This is the spell that the majority of people have fallen into. I'll always bring this out too, but you know what? How it goes again? Proverbs 22 and 16. I gotta keep remember this. He that oppresseth the poor to increase his riches, and he that giveth to the rich shall surely come to want. So this is how they get you. You got presidential campaign candidates. They use donations to push their to push that they're going to run. Donation just means everybody could put in. So here it is. The less fortune would give to the very poor person, to the very rich person, because they promise you to get out of poverty. They promise you certain things, and within those 4 years, they don't live up to nothing. But what those rich people would do, all the people that donated, the rich people, they would upheed to their proposals. We live in an unjust world where they claim to be that you vote for your leaders, but your leaders are handpicked, and a lot of people have invested into them that's not poor. So they're gonna always do as what the rich donors wanted them to do. Whatever policies is passed, that's what they would do. So if there's a way to get more money to circulate amongst their friends, that's what they would do. How the hell under Nero, his children, I did this show on that, his children, everybody that's close to him is making millions of dollars. Elon Musk came here as a billionaire. Elon Musk literally right now is a trillionaire. Let me get the video real quick.
Well, I did originally come to North America with like, I don't know, $2,500 Canadian, so I don't know, maybe $2,000 US. One bag of books and one bag of clothes in Montreal at age 17. So that is how I started out. At this point, I have a lot of knowledge. A lot of things would have to go wrong for that to be the case. It's like, am I just emerging from prison, perhaps? With a stipend? All my companies have been confiscated. I mean, it would take Armageddon, which hopefully that doesn't happen. Like Ragnarok next level, and I lost.
Yeah.
What the hell?
It's a bad hand.
I mean, it's impossible for me, for someone to have that amount of knowledge, all the knowledge that I have, and then be dropped down to a low resource amount. Because the reality is that either something truly catastrophic has happened, like civilization has melted, or I will be able to ask people to just give me money. The reality is that either something truly catastrophic has happened, like civilization has melted, or I will be able to ask people to just give me money, or I will be able to ask people to just give me money, and with the promise that I will have a high return, which is what I'm able.
So okay, she asked Elon Musk what he'd do if he had started over with just $1,000. And this is the bullshit answer that he has. And one of the main answers was he would just ask his rich friends. These motherfuckers never want to see poverty. They don't think they will ever see poverty. This is why they maintain each other in their riches. Now this mother effer who was a billionaire and is now a trillionaire under the same guy that he wanted to complain about and so forth. People, you are being played. And he said it straight up. If he had lost, he didn't even give a humbling answer. He said, "Nah, I'm gonna do." He come over millions. Like, I got this knowledge, I got this, and this to show you the pride of Esau. I got this knowledge, and this whole fabricated story of I just started with X amount of money anyway, and I made my no. His daddy is rich, all right. Owns um diamond mines and so forth in South Africa. They have things. These elites have they have things in their I mean in their for their children that's called trust funds. Okay, they could depict them however they want, but he was always meant to have riches. So don't fall for that bullshit that they be selling. There's a club, and only they are in that club. Nobody else is involved. That's why the peasant Edomites are complaining, and they don't give a damn. They don't care about you, and y'all finally realizing it. But you're like, oh, we all should get together. No, 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 no. You stay in your lane. This is your kingdom that's coming to an end. Oh, my kingdom is coming up. Shit, our kingdom, blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, our kingdom is on a come up. Your kingdom is on a downhill spiral. Okay, let me play.
And with the promise that I will have a high return, which is what I'm able to do right now.
Yeah.
Like if you give me $1, you will get back much more than $1.
Yes.
So it's somewhat of an impossible dichotomy because civilization would have had to have been destroyed or something. In which case, $1,000 is not going to
accept to be
solve your problems. You know, you can't do much with this. If you're wandering around radioactive craters and you're in like, you know, fallout or whatever, then $1,000 is not going to solve anything. And if civilization hasn't melted, then probably just talk people into giving me money, which I've done before.
Look at his net worth. Fucking pathetic. But that's the people that you people would love to admire. So it's okay for you to be broke, but for them, I gotta talk to my friends. I can't do it. So let me read that again. It says, Sirach 13:21. A rich man begin to fall is held up of his friends. That's exactly what he said. But a poor man being down is thrust away by his friends. When the rich man fallen, he have many helpers. That's what he was saying. All right. Hey, when Trump lost, he went bankrupt. It was on because his adventures. He didn't make the good. His business was pathetic. He lost a lot of money. He had to be bailed out. To be the arrogant, pompous asshole. He's running the country like he ran his failing business. Okay? And right now he's ensuring to his investors that they can make money as well. And people, you don't fit. You don't fit. All right? Other fellow Edomites don't fit. He's not going to get you out of your predicament. He's going to keep you down. So, yeah, like the first Edomite said, that he's doing it purposely. They all doing it purposely. It's a certain type of club, and you're not invited. He speak of things that not to be spoken, yet men justify him. So they justify Elon Musk, and this is a response. Justify Trump. We already know what Trump is doing. The poor man slipped, and yet they rebuke him too. He speak wisely, and they could have no space. No place, sorry. And when a rich man speak of every man hold of his tongue, the politicians and so forth, and look what he saith to exalt to the clouds. But if the poor man speak, they say, what fellow is this? If he stumble, yeah, because you don't have no results. We want to see the receipts and all these different terminologies and so forth. They don't want to believe you. Riches are good unto him that have no sin, but poverty is evil in the mouth of the ungodly. So that question that woman asked him, that was evil in his sight. Like, nah, that would never happen. Because he can't see them, they cannot see themselves lost. They can't see themselves they're losing. But guess what? You're about to lose it all. Matter of fact, let me end it off in here. Proverbs. Psalms 20. Is it 20? It's a particular saying. I can start at 20. No. Proverbs 20 and 22. In his fullness of his sufficiency, when he's about to establish his new world order, he shall be in straits, difficult times, because the word is out. You making all these billions of dollars and you're not sharing with no one. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him, and especially his people. Especially his people. They're going to get their hands on him. But it's really talking about the laborers, mostly Jake. When he is about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast his fury upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he eateth. What's the word I'm looking for? Well, it's the same thing. It says, he shall flee from the iron weapon, which is talking about the elites. They're going to flee from the set destruction. Go to the underground bunkers. Go to the mountain reserves, underwater, in space. And the bow of steel shall strike him through. It is drawn, it cometh out of the body, yet the glittering sword come out of the gale. The terrors are upon him. All the darkness shall be hid in his secret places, and the fire not blown shall consume him, and it shall go ill with him that is left in the tabernacle. The heavens shall reveal his iniquity, which via the satellites, everybody's catching up, seeing all the stuff that they're doing, how they doing it, and the earth shall rise up against him. Oh, that's what I was looking for, the next verse. But the people of the earth is rising up, all right, against the powers that be. And it says, the increase of his house shall depart, and his goods shall flow away in the day of his wrath. So despite all this stealing all the money, hoarding that's what I was looking for. Hoarding all the wealth, in the day of the Lord's wrath, all of that shit is going to be flying through. You're going to have to pay back everything and then some. All right? So that being said, shalom up to the elect of the nations. Shalom.